All right. Let's turn that down and let us begin. There we go. Uh, Good afternoon. How goes it? Hope everybody's doing well today. Our mic is turned and far away. Today is a bit more talky stream than doing anything stream, but we'll see. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. My name is Bear. I'm barely watercoloring. And today I am true to my word, or true to my name anyway. I am going to be setting up, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm going to be setting up my watercolor, like travel on the go kit. I'm going to go over all of the goodies that I've got to go in it. And then as more people come in, I'll go over it again and maybe open the floor for suggestions for things to bring that I already have or might want to look at in the future. And then clearly, as I go out and do it, I'll see the flaws in the plan and I'll adjust, right? But until then, oops, I'm just going to play around. That's a little loud. Sorry. Drink my coffee. And then we'll get started. No. All right. Thumbs are carrying around with that. Whew. Is it warm for anybody else? Looking at the taskbar, the weather says it is 80 degrees right now, and I believe it. We're indoors. It's air conditioned, but you can always tell when it's hotter than you want it to be. It seeps in anyway. Anyway, all right. Probably hear somebody outside. It's fine. Anywho, let's start. Sorry, let me drink some of my coffee and get this out of the way. Put this somewhere else for now. I don't need it right now. Comment, buddy. Really? Seriously, please. All right. Let's start taking a look at some of the stuff that we've got. Let's see here. First and foremost, I think probably the most important is the book, the sketchbook that I chose. I don't remember the brand. I have to look it up. But it uses 600 GSM paper. So it's really thick, super thick, like uber thick cardstock. I don't know how well that will focus, but you could probably see at least the edge of it. That it is some really thick paper. And on the backside, not really the backside. All paper has got like a front and a back surface. The texture on it lays differently. You can see it when you look at it up close. So I just took this first page off, flipped it around and reversed it so that the front is on this side so that I could paint a swatch of all the colors. Focus, please. There we go. All the colors that are on our palette. So I've got some cool primary colors. You can see them right there. Handsy Yellow Light, Quinn Rose, and Phthalo Blue green shade. My warm primary is in a black, New Gamboge, Pyrrole Scarlet, and French Ultramarine. Excuse me. And then Lunar Black for my black. So I've got at least 2 granulating paints, Phthalo Blue, and I think it is, and then Lunar Black. Then we've got kind of space and atmosphere options. So I've got some more darker colors, and then like a really bright, vibrant pink. So I got opera pink, cobalt blue, indigo, and then a neutral tint for blending and mixing stuff. And then I got some earth tone options down here, especially when you mix. These will be good earth tones, at least bases for good earth tones. Transparent pyrrole orange, transparent brown oxide, green apatite genuine, and then phthalo green blue shade. So we've got a lot of great options here. No white. Try to reserve white space for negative space. However, one of the things I do is, sorry, let me get this right. There we go. One of the things that I like to do is space, galaxy, nebula, things like that. So what I normally use for that is, I'll get it out for you once I have this clipped. There we are. What I use is a white acrylic ink. Will you focus? Perhaps? Maybe? No? There we go. Titanium white acrylic ink. But the downside with that is it dries hard, like a lacquer. Like it just completely dries solid. No revitalizing it with water like watercolor does. So for the first time ever, I have some gouache on the way. Also titanium white from same set, Daniel Smith. So I've got Daniel Smith titanium white gouache coming, which I think I'll be able to use for stars as well. It won't be on my palette because I'm not going to be really painting with it. I'm going to be making stars, right? So on the occasion that I do decide to want to do stars when I'm out and about, I'll use gouache because at least I should be able to wash that off pretty quickly, or thin it if I need to nicely, and it should play well. I can also learn how to use white gouache to paint over the top of things. I can blend stuff with it, and it should give some gouache qualities to my watercolors as well when I want to use that to make it a little bit more opaque. So I think it'll be a good stepping stone and a good tool, especially when I want to take it with me. I'll just bring the tube of that with in a bag to keep it safe or something. And then when I need it, I'll just put a little bit on the palette, put a little bit of water in it, bring a toothbrush or some small brushes with me and do the flacking or the flick of a toothbrush to get some stars and stuff. And I think that'll work really well. And I'll use it here as well. I'll figure out how to use that. So we have ourselves the sketchbook was really girthy paper. Like it's insane. These are 12, I think, 12 sheets of this. And technically it's so thick that I could paint on both sides of it and I'm not be harmed. And it shouldn't buckle or bend much, if not at all. And in the drawer over here, I've got a 2-pack of 12 each. So I think 24 full sheets of replacement paper for this. Someday when I do start running low or I fill it up with paintings and I want to take them out, I can replace them with clean paper and be ready to go again. So I've got my book. I've got paper in it. I've got my palette with my swatch of the palette. I got some white paint on the way. It should be here sometime later this week, I think. What else do I have? I had these already that we picked up. I forget where, or if I got it online. I have forgotten, but regardless, we got some water brushes. They allow you to, suppose I can go ahead and open it now. Oh, it's actually taped shut. Let's untape that so I can have it ready. Sorry about watchers. I've got heart playing in the background. So I am singing it, humming it. Does anybody else hate when you take something like a sticker off and it leaves the residue behind and then you use the sticker to try to peel off all of it? Sometimes it works and it gets nice and clean, and sometimes it's just a no. It's just never going to clean off. I hate that when it's gunky and stays gunky. Anyway, let me fold that up and toss it really quick. All right, pick one. They're all 3 different tips. There's a thin, I'm sorry, a fine, a medium, and a flat brush tip. And what they do is they let you Sometimes it goes one way. Yeah, this is one of those that goes the opposite direction. So usually things unscrew in a particular direction. So when you want to unscrew something, normally you just go, what is it, counterclockwise. These are the opposite. I remember seeing this somewhere that sometimes for some reason these are counterclockwise. I don't know why. But you fill this up with clean water and then you close it, seal it back up, and it's watertight. And you take it with you just like that with the tip on it and everything, with the cap on there, I mean. Uh, and then once you're ready to paint, oh, this is the square tip one. Once you're ready to paint, you hold it upside down, or I guess right side up. It's your call. So the water flows downward, and you can like press in the tip into some paper towels until some water starts flowing, and then you can scrub and grab a little bit of your paint, and then mix it up in your well. And then once you've got a saturation that you like, you just go to town and paint like normal. And then to clean, you can put it in your paper towel and you press down so you can get some more of the water out, and it helps flush. So you get two benefits. One, it's self-wetting and self-cleaning. But the self-wetting part is nice because a big problem that you have a lot of times is when you're painting, you might have plenty of pigment on your brush, but the liquid starts running out. So it never really like stays consistent for a long time. I think so long as you scrub a decent amount of pigment on one of these, it will eventually fade, obviously, because you're burning through your pigment that's on the brush, but it'll go longer. So you can start really thick and buttery, and then it'll just go thinner and thinner and thinner the more you paint, but you don't have to lift up. You should be able to just let the water flow through this. So it's a really cool idea. So I look forward to trying that sometime. Put the tip back on this without bending all the bristles in it. This is a push on. Yeah, it's just a push on. Not, you don't have to unscrew the cap. You only have to unscrew the water thing, and that goes the opposite direction, you would think. So instead of unscrewing counterclockwise, you unscrew clockwise. So we got 3 of those different tips. So that'll be ready to go. That'll be the most common use case, I think, for painting on the go. However, come on, play nice. Oh, no, that's right. Like this. I have to find which direction oh, like that. Geez, that sounded terrible. How is it in here? Now I'm confused. It sounded bad because it just made the plastic like make noise, but oh, I see. I guess it was in sideways and then it turns and then the cap stays in it. I don't think I'll be keeping it inside like this. I think I'll be, how did I do this? Am I stupid? It might be. Why am I, this is just the first one. Why am I having so much issues with it? Like, I'm not having issues with it. I'm having issues with me thinking. So this one comes out. It doesn't have a clip, but the main one did. Yeah, that's wild. The main one has this like pin clip connector, and the other 2 do not. I'm curious why it does that. I actually don't know, but hey, it's there. Anywho, let's close that up and get that ready to put to the side. Next up, put that here for now and put this up. Jonas, hey, welcome in. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Probably short stream today. I'm a little tired. I was up and down last night trying to sleep. And I didn't really feel like painting today, but I also felt like getting the stream in. So a lot of stuff came today for my travel kit. So I thought, hey, let's look up the travel kit. So that's what we're doing. So I've got the book. You've probably seen that already. And if not, I will show it really quick. This is the cover on it. It's nice, pretty blue. It's a little magnetic latch to close it up. The paper on it is 600 GSM. So that's equivalent to, would that be 280? Is that how it works? 300. Yeah, 300 GSM is 140 pound. And this paper is 600 GSM. So I'm guessing that means that it's 280-pound paper. It is sick paper. I mean, sick. Uh, the idea being that it's so thick that you should be able to paint without needing to tape it down or do anything to prevent it from buckling when you're out and about. So yeah, it is. I doubt this will focus, but it is some thick paper. Kind of see it a little bit. Yep. And then there's my palette and all the colors underneath it. Clips in. Lots of nice colors. I've got some cool primaries, some warm primaries in my black, some space kind of colors, indigo, neutral tint, cobalt blue, opera pink, and then some earth tones. Transparent pyrrole orange, transparent brown oxide, green epithite genuine, and then phthalo green blue shade. Phthalo blue and phthalo green, so that'll be really good. You'll have to let us know how that goes. I will, as soon as I have a chance to take this out somewhere and test it, I will let you guys know what the results are, and hopefully I'll have something painted. We'll see. It might be garbage, but we'll see. And then these water brushes you saw as you were coming in, it's got a fine focus, fine, medium, and flat heads. And you just fill them with water, take them with you and go, right? In addition to this, I got some travel brushes from Fumui, Fuumuui. They're like probably mid-grade quality stuff, and they've got tons of products on Amazon, so you can find them everywhere. So I got some travel brushes from them. I took the plastic off of them earlier, but they fold up. I think they say on the side what they are. Yep, number 8. This is listed as a cat's tongue. That's fascinating. Number 8, round pointed. Number 2, liner. And then number 6, flat. So let's take a look at some of these. So you unscrew them, take them out, turn them around. And I've never used these before, so I get to learn. Do you screw them in? Yes, you screw the handle back on, and then it becomes a full-size brush. Right? So that's kind of cool. And yeah, seems fine. And this was cat's tongue, which I've never seen before, so that's interesting. I guess it's just like a short, like a little dagger. See what it looks like with water on it. He does, but he doesn't take paper towel out. Just grab one paper towel. I'm not going to put any paint on it right now. I'm just going to have that there to dry it off. But I think brushes tend to take their shape really well when you wet them. Yeah. Oh, see, it's crimped on purpose to be kind of spear shaped, like a spear tip. It might not be easy to see because I doubt it will focus. I don't know, it did. You see how it's more curved when you hold it top down, but when you look at it from the side profile, it's flatter. It's actually crimped that way on the metal, on the ferrule, however you say it. Oh, for God's sakes, what now? Trying to minimize the windows on the phone so I can go into another app and still watch you. Usually it does it automatically, but now it's just not. Reset your phone. Sometimes you just have to reset. It's disgusting, but a restart is the simpler solution. Close the app, reopen it, restart the phone. God, honestly, if you just have constant problems, I say reset. My other half has a couple issues with his phone, and I've been saying you may just have to give up and just do a factory reset on it to bring it back. But that's always like a fear of like, oh man, reset is just going to be a nightmare, right? That's crazy. Okay, gonna restart. Be back soon. Okie dokie, I'll be here. I'll see you when you get back. I'll still leave everything out so we can look at it. Okay, so that one's really cool. Cat's tongue. Never heard of that, but I believe it. It looks kind of tongue-like. All right, let's screw that one back together. Put them back in. I like that idea. I like the idea of having little collapsible brushes like that. Okay, let's see what the other ones look like. Next up is size 6 flat brush. Let's see. Yeah, that's what it is, all right. I won't screw it in, but we'll and very similar, but instead of being rounded, it's flat, square on top. The same thing where it's crimped. You look at the side profile and then wide. You look at it from the top. All right, let's close that back up. Look at the next one. I think that it comes with this little, it looks like leather, but it's probably not, but it could be a little leather pouch. Let's see. Next up is a size 8 round. That's a round brush, all right. Well, that's great. Doubt it's going to focus, but yeah, it's the same all the way around because it is a round brush, not crimped in flat like the other ones were. So that'll probably be the main brush I use is this one and the other one. Put back in. There we go. And next up is the liner. Number 2 liner brush. Oh yeah, so it's really nice and thin, so that'll be good for twigs, branches, anything small. There we are. Nice point. Yep, so that'll probably work really well. Nice, nice. Okay. So yep, that would give me a nice selection of brushes when these aren't really doing what I need. Having something on the go that's a little bit closer to what I use regularly just seems like a good idea. And the fact that they collapse down means they take up less space. And there's less chance of me breaking and busting the tips on them because they're sealed, right? So that should keep them safe. So we've got brushes. But this brings up a problem, right? These brushes come with their own water. I'll fill them up and they'll be producing their own water, but these won't, right? So I need something to put water in. And that's where this comes in. I got this. I haven't even tried clipping it in yet, so that's going to be fun to see how that works. I think it'll be fine. I'll just clip it off that side or something over here. But yeah, it lets me have either a clean water, rinse water, or a cool and a warm. However I decide I want to do it on the go. But yeah, they open up and they're kind of bell-shaped. See how they're wider on the bottom? And that makes it so that apparently when it's clipped in, and if I'm tilting at all, as long as I didn't overfill the water, it should stay inside the container a little bit better because it'll creep up the sides of the bell portion. As long as I don't fill it up to the brim, that should help prevent some spills, right? So that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's seal it back up again. And it says, yeah, it says it's supposed to be watertight, and the lid is a big rubber lid. So that will absolutely seal shut. I'll have to test it sometime with water and see how it goes. And just leave it like upside down over some paper towels, and then check. Shake it, something like that. But yeah. I don't think I'll pre-fill them though. It's just good to know that it has that capability. But yeah, I think, oh, sorry. I think that'll work really well for having some water on the go when I want to use that and I'm not using these brushes. So yeah, let's try clipping it to the side, see how that goes. There's a tight clip. It's like a belt clip. The downside to this, I didn't think about, is I don't want to mess up the cover too bad on the book, but I mean, I guess that shows use. So I guess the idea is he just really has to get it on there. Like it feels like it doesn't want to move. I think it might not be expecting such a thick cover. I think it might want to clip over paper But I can't do that on this side. Okay, how about on the paper? Yeah, it goes on paper, but that doesn't work for when I'm painting because I don't want to paint on the same sheet that's holding that in, and it crimps in the paper a tiny bit, even though it's thick paper. So I might have to do some work to widen this a little bit so that it can go on the edge of this, or I'll just have to play with it some and see how it works. I think doing it on the, all right, come with me. Yeah, I still think doing it like on the edge is the best bet, and just manhandle it on there. It's the worst word usage, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, I just had to put it on like I mean it. Yeah, and then when I can leave it flat, or I can hold it, put it on my lap, and that should work. Yeah, clips on that side. All right, I think that'll be fine. I'll leave it like that for the moment. Okay. Clearly we'll have tape, right? This is just one roll, but I've got all kinds of sizes I can bring with me, so I'll have tape at the ready. What else? Anything immediately over here? Yeah. Well, I grabbed this so that I can put other things in a bag and bring it with me. The goal was to bring some paper towels with me. So I'll do a couple sets of 2 each. Okay. Start with that. Now let's fold it in half. And then fold it in half again. You do little quadrants. Let's do that for all of these. Goddess, I hope your restart worked and you're back. And if not, that's fine. I still hope your restart worked, though. That's more important than anything, that you came back and at least got your phone back up. Oh, come on. Fold the way I want. There we go. Okay. Oh, Goddess, you're back. For lurking and cooking, all good. Hang out and have fun. I'm not planning on being on too crazy long anyway. I'm not planning on painting today. I'm just going through this and getting stuff prepped. Kristen, hey, welcome in. How are you doing today? Just telling Goddess, I'm planning on this being a short stream. I'm just going through my travel supplies as they currently are, and gonna pack them all up and get them ready to go for future use. But I'm just prepping some paper towels. I don't want to bring a whole roll with me because that just seems silly. So I grabbed 2 sheets 4 times and I'm quartering them. You're irritated. I'm a good distraction. Oh, well, thank you for being here. I'm sorry you're irritated. I hope it's nothing bad. I hope it's something temporary. I got myself a Ziploc bag, so I'm just going to put the paper towels in there to keep them dry and keep them separate from, lint, things like that. Also, the goal is, should I need to bring anything with me outside of my normal travel supplies, like if I want to bring a toothbrush, for being able to flick and do effects, stars, and other things. I can bring that with me and I can drop it in here. If I need to bring my palette knife with me, especially if I bring a block of paper with, I need something to be able to separate the paper. So I'll bring that with me as well. I can put that in here. I could technically potentially put this in here as well. If I'm going somewhere like traveling when we go to our Vegas trip near the end of the year, we were talking that I could just bring this with me so that when we're in a hotel room or something, I can just hook this up and use it to dry like I do here. So I could probably put this either inside this bag or just alongside it. So yeah, I'll be able to just any side things that I need. I've got some Daniel Smith white gouache coming. I've never used gouache, but I figure instead of bringing that white acrylic ink that I use for stars, because it's permanent once it dries, having something I have a potential to wash out afterward would be helpful. Because I've never used gouache, I know it's between watercolor and acrylic, so I'm hoping it's also still somewhat washable with water or solvent, or the word is for it. So I got that coming, so that I've got a good option for stars to go, right? Working with insurance companies and doctor's offices. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Why do they make it such a struggle? I know the answer, because they don't want to pay, and you have to make them pay. But you should never have to fight with insurance. It's just, if you're paying them, it's there for a reason. But I know that's the pie in the sky, you wish everything worked answer, and it never quite always works that way. So I get it. I'm sorry. I hope it works out soon and quickly. Let me put that back up. I don't remember which one that was in. We'll put it there for now, because why not? Okay, so we have our book. We have our book. We have our palette. We have little water containers. So I've got has like a little belt clip on the bottom to clip it in. Right, we pay for it once docs send it in. Should be simple. Yeah, it would be nice if it was that easy. And this really just holds on like it means it. Here we go. It's got rubber in the lid to help make it watertight when you seal it. It's meant for any liquid that you use for painting. So oil, if you do oil painting, water for me. But yeah, makes it so that I've got two little water cups at the ready should I want to use regular brushes, which I've got here I looked at a minute ago. But if I don't use this, I've got these water brushes that I'll be able to test and try out to see how much I like that as well. I always have both as an option. So let me shut this and put it to the side. I'm not going to seal them down all the way because they really stick when they're down to the point where they're watertight, because that rubber in the lid, it really shuts firmly. So I'll put that to the side. So I got that. I got tape. I have paper towels at the ready. When we do our Vegas trip, I'm going to bring a block of 9x12 paper with me, so that I've got the capability to do larger stuff than what this book allows. But when I'm just out of the house and we're at a park or something like that, then this should be plenty. So what am I going to put this in? I'm going to put it in this. Found a bag on Amazon at that. It was 30 something. Let me go find it really quick in a way that doesn't show off any details. 1 second. Word here. That one. Yes, I know. Thank you. That one. Yeah, 31.31. That has a coupon that drops it down to $29.43 on Amazon. It is by this brand Leaper. Let me make sure I don't see anything personal. Nope, just that I bought it once, and that's the one that we're looking at here. Yeah, it's right here. Leaper. Has a few different colors and sizes. Yeah, so nice and affordable. It's got enough room. I tested it earlier. It has enough room in the large pouch here that when we do the Vegas trip or any trip where I bring a large block of paper with me, it will fit inside. So let's add that. Yeah, that goes here. Yep. Yep. So that fit inside there nicely. And it's inside the bounds of where it will zip just. So this is just the right size for bringing 9x12. This is the large size backpack. We have the medium, a large, XL, and 2XL. This is the medium. I'm sorry, the large size, because that matters. I went to their website, and I guess I may have been right. And Paul Rubin paper made by Baha. Their paper is nice. Excellent. I've heard of Paul Rubin, so I guess that makes sense. So their this Bahan brand must be a white label. White label meaning they allow their brand to be used by other people and they go by the other people's brands versus their own. Maybe they do both. That's cool. Excuse me. Nose was like, all right. All right. So let me go ahead and close this stuff up so I can pack it up. Let me fold my palette. And I'm going to clip this halfway in between because it's closed. I can't do over the whole thing. So I'm just doing it in between the little gap there. And let's close this. Close the book. Latch it, the little magnet latch. So it just shuts through magnets, which is really nice. And let's figure out where this might go. Even though I've got this, I've got this inside large pouch here. I was looking at maybe putting a laptop in it, but for me, it's a little bit too small to fit any laptop I own that's mine. My other half, though, has the 13-inch, I think it is. Technically, it looks like a 12-inch MacBook or MacBook Air. I don't remember which. But it fits in there perfectly for him. For me, though, I've got a larger Lenovo and then my work laptop, and neither of those fit in here. So I'll just use my regular backpack for that when the time comes to bring those with, but it will fit iPad. So I'll probably put my iPad in here along with the block. I'll put like the paper towel bag. I'll put that in here. Lightwish and Paul Rubin, as I believe, white labeled. Yeah, exactly. Just like a lot of people when they're like, oh, look, I've got my own line of blah, blah, blah. Almost all of it is white labeled from somebody else, and they put their own name on it and their own logos and designs, but it's made by some other company. Some people that I think do like the watercolors might do that, but a lot of people might make their own watercolor and they mix their own. So that one's a little bit more personalized, I think, but everything else is kind of white labeled. Unless you're a big name and you work with a company to make a custom brush, like this one, for example. I talked about it before. I don't use it because it's gigantic and I don't paint flowers very often. But if I did want to use this, I've got it. It's nice to have a long handled brush. But this is a Blooms brush, Princeton Heritage Collection. Come on, are we going to focus? There we go. Number 12 Blooms brush. Velvet Touch. I'm sorry, not Heritage. But it's made by Princeton. But it was made in partnership with Jenna Rainey, the lady I told you about, was the first person I watched Watercolor. She worked with them because she has a good partnership with them. This is exclusively who she uses for her watercolor brushes. So they work together to make a Blooms brush that lets you kind of do multitasking when painting flowers. So you can do on the edge to make stems and leaves by pressing, and then you do flat. The large side is the perfect shape to do a lot of petal shapes as well. So she likes it because she can do pretty much everything with one brush when she uses that. So some people do that. Anywho, where am I going to put this book? Well, I was thinking, I was wondering if I should fill everything in the middle, but there's a lot of other pockets as well. There's side pockets for the pouch here. That's a nice size for some things. I could fit some stuff in there. Like I could probably put these brushes that might fit in there. I honestly don't think I'm going to keep these in this pouch. I mean, eventually they're going to be filled with water and they're watertight. So I think they'll be fine in here by themselves. Yeah, that just fits. If it was in this pouch, it probably would not have fit in there. And these I will keep in the pouch, the little folded us. Bless you. Little pouch. So the brushes can go in there. You know, I can probably fit the tape in here too. And then I'll probably grab a couple. What size was that? 1/2 inch? Ow, I think so. Yes. Or 3/4 actually. This is 1 inch. This is 3/4 of an inch. This is 1/2 an inch. I could put some of those in there. If I want really thin, I could put a couple of these washi tapes in there so I can have some really thin options. Right? I think that'll be good for that. I've got a water bottle that I can bring with to fill this guy. So I've got a water bottle and a spray bottle in one. So I could use that. Let's see. This is fun. This whole section here is on snaps, but they're like magnetic snaps. So when I put this down and I line it, it just automatically centers and goes right in. So it seals shut. And I have to like lean it to unsnap them. So that's pretty cool. So that's probably a good option to put some stuff in. And there's a zipper. There's a front pouch, right? That's nice and big. And there's another zipper pouch right here. So I was thinking the book might be able to fit in there. But that's quite large. So I think I could probably put the book by itself in here. Yeah, wow, that fits like it was made for it. That's great. I can put the water bottle in there, or I could put it in the side. There's a little pouch right here. Let's see if it fits in that. It might. It does not. It goes in, but it makes it where it can't close. So it's a little bit too tall if I bring that one. If I brought the smaller bottle, I could do that one. It'll only be enough really to use for the spray bottle though. I wouldn't be able to use it to fill these up because it would just empty it. The other one had enough room. But that's okay because I had a thought about that too. So I can put that in there and close it up. Okay. And the front pouch here for now, I can put the little water container. So I've got the book. I have not yet put up the palette. It can go in here as well. Oh, magnets. All right. Okay. So the water containers and the palette are in here. The sketchbook is inside. Oh, excuse me. Let me close that up. A 9x12 block of paper is on the inside as well, though I won't really need that right now, but I'll keep it in there for now because why not? And then I think that's everything that I was going to keep in. The only addition that I'd probably add right away is on this side. There's a pocket for putting water or a drink of some kind. So I could probably put a water bottle. I've got this container. It's like a little thermos. That's got like a little like squeeze thing to be able to open the lid so you can drink out of it or pour out of it, which fits, but it's very tight. So I think it's made for something a little bit narrower than that bottle. So I could probably just get like a 20-ounce bottle of water and that with a cap, and that would fit in there and be my water to drink and to refill stuff from. So that's probably how I'd get my water covered. And that's pretty much it. I got a big old block of paper. I could bring my palette knife with to be able to open that. I could put that in the bag with the paper towels. I've got brushes. I've got the paper towels. I'll have water. I have my paints. I'll have a white gouache, titanium white. It's on the way right now. So I use that to make stars. And then when we're somewhere where there's electricity, I will pack up and bring my heat gun so that I can dry things off. Otherwise, they're going to be drying out in the sun, au natural style. So, but yeah, I think that works. The only other feature that's of note from this is how it straps. It's just one universal strap, and you can clip it depending on the shoulder you want to hang it off of on either side. You can clip it down here, which is how it comes, or you can clip it on the opposite side. And it's one of those one strap over your head and arm, and then it hangs on your back. I didn't actually understand that until I tried it earlier. My other half helped me kind of align it so I could kind of gauge where it would lay on my back, so that I could adjust the length of the strap so that it works. But yeah, I think that's a nice little all-in-one, and I can just take it and put it down on the floor by my desk and put it up, and it'll be tucked away until I need it. So yeah, I think that's a nice little kit. I'll test it out sometime and let y'all know how it goes. Aside from that, I suppose before I go, I can show you guys the stuff that we did last week because everything is dry now. This was the testing that I was doing on the, I was doing puddles of water, and I was putting paint down in this dish right here, actually. This right here. I was putting some pure colors down for the most part, and I was doing like a dual dip, tri dip thing where I put the paintbrush in on different corners or different sides of it, right? And then touching the edges of the paper or touching the edges of the puddle and letting all the colors flow out all at once. And it proves to me something. The people that I saw this from were on Instagram, right? And you know how they do. They were doing the whole, ooh, look at the pretty flows. Look at the pretty flows. And all they do is show a video of them doing the actual dipping in the paint and putting it on the edge of the water and watching it bloom. What they did not show is what it looks like when it dries. Everyone I saw was just the water, because that's the part that is instantly visually appealing because you can see the spread happening, right? But when it dries, it's puddles of waters, guy. Puddles of water, guys. That's what I was trying to say. And it dries unevenly, and it forms big puddles where the paper ripples and buckles. So it doesn't look as good when it dries. It is. It's okay, but it's not appealing like the product when they're making it looks, right? So they're doing it for the views. Ooh, look at me. It does a very pretty spread of water. And it does. But it doesn't dry nice. On the other hand, the thing that does do that and does dry nice is what took all night to dry. This guy. Oh, inside note, this paper was the only hot press paper that I have. And it may not be the most expensive hot press paper, but let me tell you, the last time I used it, same problem, but it was wet to the edges. This was not wet to the edges, and just my blue painter's tape pulled up badly on this paper. I don't know if it's a side effect of hot press paper because it's smooth and it adheres more to it, or because this paper is cheap. I did check, and I'm not cheap, but not 100% cotton. It says 25% cotton. That's why I think it did this, because it's mostly cellulose, right? Like what writing paper is made out of. So I think that's why this pulls apart like that. So just keep that in mind with your paper. 100% cotton does not tear like that. So let me put that up. And yes, this is what we did last. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. It's not new. I'm sorry. It is. I can hold it up. Let me do that, and that'll be easier to manage. Let me grab a clipboard, and I will set it on it so I can lift it, because it's the paper is very floppy. It's that mineral paper, remember? So mineral paper it feels almost plastic, and like it bends, like it feels and bends and behaves like plastic. Sorry, I just smacked the mic. That probably didn't sound good. Yeah. So here we go. I will lift it up so you can see it. Unlike the other paper, and using standard paints like that. This uses liquid watercolor and some liquid acrylic ink. And what I do is I usually do lines of the ink, very thick, very dense, and I do water, starting from just above where the ink is, so it doesn't connect, up about 2/3 of the way up the gap, and I just fill that area with water, and then the same thing on the bottom, and then we go over it and we connect a very wet, wide, flat brush full of water, and then we connect the puddle of water with the line of ink, and we kind of zhuzh it a little bit so that it feeds into it really nicely and blooms, and you can see how it flows. I probably could have stood to linger in the area where the line of ink was a little longer to make the flows a little bit richer. It just kind of settled in that gap in the middle there, but that's my bad. And then the bottom half looks like that, right? Like that came out really cool. And I'll turn it sideways so you can see it in the way that I can actually hold it up. There we go. Gives you almost the entire view, right? So playing around with mineral paper and liquid inks like that, that flows and is really pretty. I always love how that works. The only downside is how long it takes to dry. It's the only downside, but that's for streaming. I mean, for home use, whatever, you can use old, like quarter or half sheet pan, like I mentioned last time, put it in it so that if there is any runoff, it runs off into a pan and not onto your table, your floor, your clothes, your pets. You know, you don't want to do that. But then you can set it all up, and as long as you keep it almost completely level, you can slide it to the side so that you can work on more stuff. And on stream, that's just impossible to do. Once I start one, I have to kind of just let it sit there. But yeah, I love how this one came out. I'll set it down here. Let me read what you guys said. Krista said, okay, I guess I was wrong. Baoheng is manufactured in a different Chinese factory. I re-looked it up, or I don't know. I feel I get mixed info when looking into it. I do think Maoheng is better quality. Okay. I'll have to look that up. I'm curious who they underwrite, who's their white label for, unless they're their own thing. Gotta said, ooh, can't wait to see what that turns into. Thank you. Me too. Lol. Yes. Still cool shapes that could be turned into something. Yeah, this. Yeah. I think if I didn't use the hot press paper and use a better quality, dense, cold press paper, it wouldn't work, and I probably wouldn't see so much of the big puddles here. Also, my bad, I tried hurrying things along by drying it manually with my heat gun, and that probably contributed to some of those hard lines you see where the puddles started forming. So that was also probably me. I could probably also stand to use less water in the puddles, just enough to wet it down so that I could put paint in it and it'll bloom, but not so much that it is literally a puddle, because that's just asking for all those all the messes up. But I could probably stand to get some color directly on the brush right from the pan instead of trying to mix it in the side container, because I feel like that thinned it out, because some of these could stand to be a little bit brighter as well. But still, I like the shapes. I like how they came out, just like you said. And Krista said, oh yeah, hot press isn't a granulating type paper. No. Or one you use if you want it to spread. Yeah. It's good kind of like this in that it let everything kind of spread outward. But it has no texture, or so little texture that granulating stuff won't granulate on it. At least not well. It just spreads. It's got nothing to grab onto. It's just flat like this is. I don't think granulating paint would work well on this either. Same problem. It's even more so than the hot press. It's ridiculously smooth, like plastic. Stone, but like plastic. Calcium carbonate, the main ingredient in this. That's beautiful. Thank you, Giannis. Yeah, I like how this came out. I love the pretty blends and the shapes that these make. They always come out so cool. And Krista, if that wasn't so large, it would make a good start to a mandarin fish. This, yeah. I think I'd be curious to see someone trying to do something meticulous on mineral paper. The one big thing I tried doing on it was like a winter scene, and I was never really happy with how it came out. Everyone else seems to like it, but, you know, I'm my own worst critic like we all are to ourselves, right? I didn't like it. And referring to the mineral paper one, yeah. No, it does incredibly beautiful blends. For me, what I see when I look at this, I see, like, the clouds of Jupiter when they show them, like, swirling around the great red spot and all that, the cloud cover from the top down, that's what I see when I look at these kinds of things. Like, that looks so cool, right? And you can see all the ripples and the edges of that as it was drying and shrinking and the puddle of water was getting smaller. It made lines. But that looks kind of cool in this perspective because it looks kind of like terrain, like the terrain maps. You know what I mean? Like when you see instead of satellite view imagery, they show the terrain, the elevation map, right? Or shows how high up the elevation is for that line. It looks like that to me. It is pretty. I wanted this one to go more purples. I did blues and reds, and there's purple tones in it. Like right there, it did purple really nice. Yeah, it's still very pretty. I'm very happy with how it came out. I'm always pretty happy with how the mineral paper things come out. I just hate how long they take to dry because I can't do a lot of them, especially during streams. It just makes it a pain. All right, so oh, it reminds me of the texture in a whale's mouth. Krista, you've got some weird knowledge, but I appreciate that. Let's look that up because I'm really curious now because I've never looked inside a whale's mouth before. But I'm sure online, I'm sure, I'm sure there's great pictures of that. Oh, that's fun. Whale mouth. I have to lift my glasses up for this. Let's see. Let's do pictures or images. God. Oh, like that? I don't know how well this is going to focus. Oh, I'm not focused. Look at all those whale teeth. Sharp, pointy teeth. It's an orca, I think. I didn't look. It might be, might not be. No, I don't know what that is. No, blue whale. I'm sorry. Blue whale. I'm not inside the outside. Wrong whale. Oh, what whale? Now I want to know. Let's look for more pictures of whales, and maybe we'll find the one we're looking for. Whoa. Those humpback whales, sperm whales. Sorry, excuse me. Looking it up. Thank you. Ooh, that's pretty. Kind of like that. Maybe not the open mouth part, but the underside. It's really pretty. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's pretty. And it's got the lines. So I get that. I get that now. Cool. You know what's funny? I don't know what makes them, but the lines on the underside look like stretch marks on a human. I mean, not all of them, like one stretch mark. Fascinating. All right, let me see what I missed. Gana said there's a lady who comes to the art club I host at the community center. She did watercolor on a big piece of like plexiglass type stuff. That's interesting. And it was very interesting because what you do is you just spread color everywhere, all over the glass. Then you make the image by scraping the paint off it in some places because it's plexiglass. You can do that. And then you add other colors of paint on top of the places you scraped, or you just make designs. Interesting. It was all very super interesting. She went to some workshop in San Diego for it, and it looks really cool. She's doing an ocean scene with fish underneath the water, and it's very cool. Then, of course, when it's done, you have to really put a finish on it so it'll be long lasting. Oh, that makes sense. So I imagine, like, is it's painting? So is it meant to be like the side that you're painting on is the side you view it from, or is it like those designer pancakes people make where they put the design down and what you're looking at is on the other side when you're finished and you flip it over? You know what I mean? Like that takes too much mental prowess to be able to figure out how to make. I don't know how those people make those pancakes. For that, I don't get. I imagine you're saying the side that you paint on is the side that is the side you view it from as well, because we're talking about protecting that side. So that's what makes sense to me. But if someone could figure out how to paint on something and then flip it over and it's gorgeous on the other side, that's crazy to me. All those birds are like, let's get the hell out of here. Oh yeah, and the whale milk, yeah. Sounds similar to jelly prints. I feel like oh, I've seen that. I think didn't I see that online where they paint on the gel substance and then they put the paper on it and if, I think they flip it over and then peel the gel off and the texture is left on the paper. Was that right? Am I remembering that right? Along those on the same side. Basically, take just a bunch of color, smear it all over the plexiglass, and then she took different instruments and scraped things and made all kinds of really cool geometric and organic curvy designs and things. Interesting. In any case, I feel like that might have been a typo or I'm just misunderstanding. In any case, it was, oh, in any case, I think that might have been voice to text, huh? In any case, it was a very interesting process, but the end result was just stunning. Yes, Jilly printing. I've done that at one of our art club meetings, the one at me and DDL, Desert Dragons Lover, for anyone out there, belonged to. One of our other artists gave us a demo. We all got to try it. That's cool. That's wild. That makes me think of like print shops. Um, like for both kind of like the idea of making old newspaper, making t-shirt transfers, I guess, in a way, or maybe not t-shirt transfers, but there's I don't remember the name of it, but the one method they do for some t-shirts, silk screening. There it is. Where they do silk screening. Um, I guess it's not the same thing. Silk screening is you put a template down and there's gaps in it, and you spread a thin layer of the ink paint material, whatever it is, onto it, and then pull the template away, and what remains is what's silk screened on. You use like a big flat bench scraper thing to scrape it and press it into the fabric, right? That's different. I guess what I'm thinking of is more like a print shop where you create the design on everything and you cover it with the ink or the paint, and then you press it into a surface and release, kind of like a stamp. But that's also not the same because I'm thinking of the jelly printing. It's kind of like you just put all the material on it and then you put the paper on it and you press it into it. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. It sounds interesting. It's probably something I'll never do unless I go somewhere else to do it. I'm never going to do it here because that's just too niche and one off for me to get the materials to do and try. Only to be like, I tried it. You know? Yeah. That's cool though. I did think about stamps at some point, but I don't think I'll own all of those inks that you need for it and ink pads and the stamps. And then like once you've used them once, it's like, then what? I don't do scrapbooking. I don't do post stationery journaling, stuff like that. That's interesting for people that do that. And it's beautiful seeing what they've done with their own stuff. But for me, it's just something that never interested me. But stamps are interesting, like actual stamps that you press into ink and then you press on paper, and not like postage stamps, which is a whole different topic of discussion. Interesting though. All right, guys, I think that's it. Been on for a little over an hour. That's kind of what I was planning. It's just a half day today. I am tired still, so I'm going to go ahead and I think pack up everything uh, and head out and be back on Thursday. Let me see. With the jelly printing, everything's applied to the piece of glass or plexiglass, whatever it is that you're using. The jelly thing, you got to make the jelly. It's something you make in the oven, but she would put paint on it, use stamp rollers or other things, and would use cutouts to put them down and paint over that. So the cutout was left in the free area, and then you'd imprint it, and you just do layers and layers. That's interesting, and I think I need to watch it. Like I've seen some in passing on Instagram Reels, but I never really stopped too long to look at it because I'm like, that's an interesting thing. Anyway, watercolor, watercolor. Where's the watercolor at? I'm just skimming through to get to it. Um, but it's interesting. Like the texture of it is interesting. But I'm like, what do you do with it after? Because you only use the jelly as like a tool to get it onto something else, like paper or something, right? Or is it like, is it glass? She sounds like she's doing paint cells. Yeah, right. You just scrape it clean and use it again. Really? You do? Huh? And the jelly keeps? Like, do you buy it already made, or do you actually like you said, in an oven, you like prepare the jelly, cool it, and then you use it over and over again? That's wild. I will have to look that up because that's just weird. Let's look it up. I don't want to look it up on Instagram because it's going to mess up my algorithm and then I'm going to find nothing but that. Let's Google it instead. Jelly. Well, I didn't type the way I wanted. That. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. This is the kind of stuff that it was finding when I searched. Focus. There we go. The leaves are pretty. That one on the top right looks really cool as well. It looks like it was on a page of a book or something. I'll have to look up videos. I'll probably look them up on YouTube later so I can look at it on my computer full screen instead of trying to look at it on my phone. That's cool. Yes, that looks like it. Okay. Yes, there are recipes I've seen on YouTube where you can make the jelly plates at home instead of buying. That's fascinating. Since it's a jelly, I assume it's just like neutral, unflavored gelatin. Maybe just really, really thick. No, because eventually that'll melt. So it has to be something that stands up. So it's got to be another material. Is it actually gelatin? Really? And it holds up? The homemade one, I imagine you have to refrigerate though, right? Because I think if you leave it at room temperature, if it gets too hot, it'll melt, won't it? Or do you just do it so thick that it's incredibly dehydrated? It depends on what it's made with. Yeah. Because there's all kinds of gelatins out there. Like even I remember Mythbusters, they used that gelatin for bullet testing. I I forget what it's called, but that gel. But even it melted if it got too hot because they could only use it outdoors so long and they had to keep it chilled until they were ready to use it. Ballistic gel. No, it's hard. That's wild. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Because I keep imagining like you're painting on something that's soft and jiggly, and I'm like, what is the purpose? Why? What's happening here? But I'm guessing the purpose is just that it's so soft that it can transfer to paper or other materials easily. Because if it's completely hard, you won't be able to press into it evenly enough to get the whole surface area. I'm guessing is what the purpose of that is, right? And because it's a gel, no matter what, you'll always be able to squish down flat enough to be able to get a full transfer if you do it right, is what I'm assuming. That's fascinating. Yeah, I'll look it up later and see. Maybe after stream, I'll look it up while I'm sitting here drinking some coffee or something. All right. Well, I think that's enough EM line. I'm gonna head on out. I'm still good for this week. I plan on being back Thursday and I'll try to paint something. And next week, though, is going to be, up in the air. I may or may not be here, depends on how busy I am, because it is my on-call week again next week. Hooray! Woo! On-call. So depends how crazy things get. We'll see. But yep, I'm gonna head out. I'll try to figure out something fun to do Thursday. I don't know what yet. I have a list of ideas written down that I may or may not do. Um, I want to do simple stuff. Anything really complicated that takes multiple streams just stresses me out. I'd rather do that on my own time and then show the results. So we'll see. I'll figure it out. All right, guys. I am going to go. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate y'all. I hope y'all are having a great week and will continue to have a great week. I will see you all on Thursday. I plan to be here unless something crazy happens and I'm exhausted because of work, because that happens. I will be here on Thursday. So everyone, have a great week. Thank you so much. My name is Bear, and today I haven't been watercoloring. I'm talking about it though, so that counts. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Have a good night. Goodbye. 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 Let's listen to some heart on the way out. Goodbye.